Hey guys, what is going on? Narcissus here from the Gaming Projects, coming to you today to cover the big Final Fantasy XVI reveal from yesterday's State of Play event, talk about how I feel about it, and cover a few other loose ends from the gaming news that I feel like covering. Before we get into all the juicy tidbits of the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give the video a like if you want to. So Final Fantasy XVI finally received its first trailer since it was revealed back in 2020 at the PS5 Showcase event yesterday at Sony's State of Play event. I got to say that graphically it is quite impressive. Having said that, I am on the fence how I feel about the rest of it. Summons appear to be a big part of combat in this game, and it looks as though players will be able to control the summons in battle. Not only do they appear to play a big part in combat, but possibly in the story as well. This game takes place during a time of war, and summons seem to be a big element in said war. At the beginning of the trailer, it shows a woman transforming into a wind summon that the Final Fantasy XVI website calls Eikon Garuda. Summons in 16 are called dominants. Now, I don't know how I feel about this new direction that they took with summons in this game. Call me old school, but I prefer a summon to be summoned. It does a certain amount of damage and then it leaves. I'm not resistant to change though, so depending on how they handle it will determine if I feel like it's good or not. But I just don't have enough information to confidently say whether I like it or not yet. Now, the actual combat is heavily action oriented. I'm a little concerned that it will play too much like Devil May Cry, since the combat director for Final Fantasy XVI came from the same team who made Devil May Cry 5. And sure, Devil May Cry is a good game series, but I'm looking for something new, not a repeat of some of the old. Final Fantasy needs to make its mark in the modern era, and copying from a different game series will not allow it to be able to make its own mark. The Final Fantasy XVI website, which I will leave a link to in the description below, has added some screenshots of the world in Final Fantasy XVI. Again, it looks absolutely beautiful. It appears to be an open world game. That is all good and makes me happy. I'm fine with that. Now, let's talk about the story. It is heavily politically driven. It's about a war. If they do it like Final Fantasy IX or even Triangle Strategy, I'm fine with that. But if it's done like Final Fantasy XII, I'm gonna fall asleep. Final Fantasy XII had a boring ass narrator who was monotoned and the story was hard to follow. 12's poor story is what drives it down on my list of favorite Final Fantasy games, because it has good elements to it, but they are used poorly at times. So if 16 keeps the story engaging like Final Fantasy IX or Triangle Strategy, then cool, I'm excited, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Finally, I am disappointed that it will not be releasing until the summer of 2023. Now, we heard some time back that the game got delayed 6 months due to some outsourced material getting held up, which is understandable, but that means the game would have come this holiday most likely instead, which I think is a better time for it than it would be being released in the middle of summer when people are more focused on being outdoors. It also said on the Final Fantasy XVI website that the game is done from start to finish, but they are polishing it up, and it's hard to believe it's going to take a whole year to polish it up. But hey, if it makes it into a better game, then awesome. Just sucks we still have to wait another year. So in conclusion, Final Fantasy XVI looks amazing, and I love its open world look, but I am concerned about the story, and most importantly, the combat. The PlayStation event didn't really have anything else that caught my interest too much. My niece was very excited to hear about the Resident Evil news. She's a huge fan. Eternight, however you say that, Eternight, looks interesting, but the character movements and the art style in the game kind of look to me. I'm going to try it out because, you know, I like that kind of stuff, that Japanesey stuff, but it definitely looked rough around the edges. Finally, I wanted to throw in here that Star Ocean 6 is finally getting some news for it at the end of June. I didn't talk about this sooner because I think it's stupid to make a video about upcoming news, you know, news we haven't even gotten. Hey, this is a news video about you getting news soon. But I threw it in here at the end of this video just in case you guys didn't know. And with that, everyone, I will end the video. Let me know in the comments below how you felt about the Final Fantasy XVI trailer. Are you disappointed that it isn't coming until next summer? Please go down and subscribe, ring the bell if you feel like it, and until the next project, take it easy everyone. I'm out.